to get the difference between identical and not equal. So you can come and practice and play more with these comparison operators that you understand them properly. So we come to the increment and decrement. So increment operators, we use them to increase a certain value, and decrement, we use them to decrease some different values. So if I want to increase a certain value, I'll use this plus plus a certain value, and then it will be increased, and then this one will be decreased. So you can ask, like, what's the difference between this and this? So here, pre-increment, this one that we begin with the plus plus and then a certain value, it increases a certain integer by 1, then it returns the value. But post-increment, it will first return the current value and then increase it by 1. So that's the difference. This one will first increase and then return the value, but this one will first return the current value and then do what? And then return the value itself. So let us see the difference between these two. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to change this one as what? As increment and decrement. So I just simply say Ctrl+Shift+S and then make this one number 8 and change this one to underscore and put here .php and save. So I'm going to copy the name of this file by simply pressing Ctrl+Shift+S, select all, Ctrl+C and press Escape, and then I'll come here and select this one and put the value. So we're still having that junk. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete all. So I want just to create one variable. So I'm going to put here a and make it maybe 30. Okay, let me make it 30. Okay. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to check the difference between the post-increment and pre-increment. I mean pre-increment and post-increment. Okay, so first of all, the meaning of increment is to add one value on a current value. So for example, I can echo here and say, so we begin by the current value of a. So original value of a, I just simply say echo original val. Then I concatenate the value of a, and then after, let me concatenate the new line here. So by simply putting the br tag there. Okay, so that will be the original value, and then I'll put here after increment. Okay, so after increment we shall have the what? The value there, and then let me put here before. Okay, we have before and after, no problem. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to increase it. So to increase it, we say we just put plus plus. Okay, so when you put plus plus, this value will be increased. So if I come and refresh here, you see original value is 30 and after increment is 31. So plus plus is just adds 1. It adds 1 to the current value. That's the meaning of increment. So if I put here post increment, it will also do exactly the same. Now what is the difference now? This pre-increment and the post increment. So the difference is the pre-increment, it will first return the value and then increase, but the post increment will return the value and then decrease. To do it, we can just simply create here a variable b, so that you see the difference b. So we have seen both of them, they increase, but what I want this to return, I will be printing it here. Okay, so I'll be printing the b. So if I come and refresh, you see we're having 21. Why? Because it first increased then returned the value. But if I come and put here before, we are having 30. Why? It first returned the current value, which was 30, and then increase. And remember, when it increased, it already increased while it has already finished. So the A itself has changed, but it returned the value of the original value. But if you use pre-increment, it will first pre-increment, it will first let me explain this. Post-increment, it will first return the value and then increase later. Both of them, they increase the value of A. But post-increment, it will first return the value and then increase later. But pre-increment, it will first add the value and return the value. It will first add the value and then return the value. So that's the difference. Pre-increment, it will first add them and then return the value. That's why you see there was a what? There was change in B. Okay? Because it did pre-increment. It first add and then return. But post-increment, it will first return the original value, then add. So it means that it will return 30 first. So in B we shall have 30. And then this A will change later. But always, the A will always change. Because if I put here the value of A, so let me put here after increment B and after increment A. So if I put here A, we shall see that, let me put here some B that you should see the difference. So you can see it has increased, the A has increased, but B is still at 30. Why? It did post increment. But if you do pre-increment, we first add, it means that it will first add and then return the what? The new value. So if you refresh here, you see B is updated and A is updated and the original value is that. So A will always be updated, but the pre-increment, it will first return the original and then add. Pre-increment will first add and then return the original, but post-increment, it will first return the original and then add. I hope you've got the difference. So that works exactly. Post-decrement and pre-decrement is just exactly the same, whereby decrement is for what? For subtraction. So if I just put here minus minus, so it means that B will remain original, but what? But A will reduce by 1. So if I refresh, you see A is 29, but B is still original. Why? Because it did the post increment. Did you understand? Smile. Are you following? Unmute your microphone.
Yes, I'm following.
Did you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So we come to the logic operators. So we use logic operators to perform different logics.